Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Aurora 4X! We are continuing to go away with our space empire. Technically, the human empire, the Quillian Empire, has claimed 4 systems for itself, but it's really only inhabited 3 of them over here, but they're going just exceptionally well. We're still working on a little bit of terraforming, including on some of the planets within our initial solar system. Doesn't help that our proper and more powerful terraforming fleet is actually spending most of its time outside the system. In fact, I should probably have dragged it back over to help terraform Mercury or the Moon a little bit faster. But, you know what? It's okay. We're going to spread ourselves out to as many planets as possible. Supply of bornite on Van Beesbrook has just expired, been exhausted. So what else do we have going on here? We have quite a lot of mines. We still have a big stockpile. We only have 1 mass driver, so that would be part of it. But there's still a good number of minerals on Van Beesbrook to go and mine out, so I'm not too worried about it. I think it might not be a bad idea to go in and put a civilian order for a... Oh, we're still getting more mass automated mines, too. Yeah, please send me another mass driver as well. Thank you kindly. How are we doing on Earth here? We've got 8 automated mines kicking around, and presumably... Okay, we can put in a supply for those over there. We might have some more coming in, I'm not sure. Anyway... A Kiss for Luck now has 1.1 million people living on it. Essentia is up to 6.6 million and has some mining going on, of course, which is great. We're starting to stockpile just a few things here and there. Still missing a few, but soon enough we're going to be sending some of these automated mines and mass drivers over to asteroids and whatnot that are orbiting around Wolf 359, which is the star that Essentia is orbiting. Meanwhile, we're continuing to just expand all of our efforts all over the place. So we're going to go back into, what is this? Construction of anti-missile ones on Earth is finished. So actually, we can go and modify you to have 100% production. There you go. So Earth is still building automated mines and building some more missile ships, which is great. And also the research over here. We're just going to finish off, I think, this armor, which is coming up in just 3 more months. And then I think that might be us designing our ships. I'm not sure here. Cargo Task Group 1 has completed orders. Oh, that was, I think, refueling. Bring down the volume a bit. I think that was refueling after our, after sending the PDC components over to Essentia. If we take a look at Essentia, actually, it's a great question. We are 80% of the way done completing the PDC Arctic Fox. Let's go ahead, a 30-day chunk over here. Is that going to be sufficient? It's going to be March 23rd, so yeah. Bam! So now, Essentia is being protected. We don't have a PPV value here because they actually haven't started naming it yet. We currently have a worker shortage, and the reason for that is we have a lot of mines over here and just not quite the population yet. But the population will come up to meet the amount of workers we're looking for relatively soon. And actually, a lot of workers are employed by the construction industry right now, which may not be required. Which does make me think I could shut down the construction factories to free up more people for the mine, but I'm not sure if that matters much. It's not like the mining is a critical thing one way or other. Is there anything we could build with the materials that we have right now? Wait. This is Essentia. Essentia has coronium? No, okay, there we go. We could build a commercial shipyard. I don't know if that's a big deal. We don't have that, we don't have that, we don't have that. What's this? A fighter factory? Pass. We could build some fuel refineries here. Now, Essentia doesn't have sorium here. Now, I don't think we're going to be shipping any sorium to Essentia, at least not at this time. We can build a ground force training facility. That might not be terrible, because we could build them here instead of shipping them, but I don't know if that's a particularly important thing. Maintenance facilities we may want if we decide to move a fleet in orbit here, but right now we're okay. We can actually start building mass drivers here, because Essentia can offer them up for trade ships as well, which might be nice. A naval shipping complex. Yeah, well, I mean, we don't have enough new training right now, but it might get there. Ordnance. No, it'd be nice to build a spaceport, but I guess none of the things. We're just going to have Essentia accumulate things for now. That's okay. I mean, I suppose we could build other bits and bobs, but I don't think there's any real reason to do that. Pre-build some maintenance supplies? Wait, is that a thing you can do? Hold on. What? How do you get maintenance? Hold on. Maintenance facility. That just builds the maintenance facilities. How does it resupply? That's an interesting question. That's actually something I don't know. Is that something I've been needing to build? Earth. How many minerals are we looking for right now for our current maintenance? total. So this is how much has been consumed by the maintenance facility. Maybe you can build maintenance supplies on one planet which has the material and then ship it over somewhere that's got maintenance facilities. That's probably the way that it works. And then instead of using up the materials, you could just use from the pre-existing bank. It's probably something like that. Using quite a few supplies right now to maintain our IDO 89Bs that are in orbit. And actually, it might be time to just go and disband those. It's a shame because they've got a lot of experience, but there's almost no way whatsoever that these ships could possibly get refitted to the new model. So, and with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and do exactly that. I'm going to start scrapping my my military ships. So that's the analog light bulbs, the Edos, and the Knights over here. We're going to go ahead and scrap them. That used your one slipway, so now we're going to scrap the analog light bulb. We've only got the one, and then one of our Edos. I mean, it's a bit of a shame, but at the same time, I think it's important to do. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. These ships, they helped us placate the Martian rebellion. They helped make us feel safe as we started to expand into the cosmos, but their time is well past. The Quillian Empire has been in control of Earth for almost 60 years now. Actually missed the 50-year anniversary. The Arctic Fox is complete on Essentia, which is great and lovely. Arctic Fox 2 has run out of fuel. Yeah, so I talked about this. This is a weird thing. So I'm going to get this really, really, really annoying message every single turn that the Arctic Fox 002, which is part of the PDC fleet for Essentia, has run out of fuel. Because indeed, it gets produced with 0 fuel, because Essentia has no fuel on it. Now keep in mind, Arctic Fox doesn't burn any fuel, doesn't consume any fuel. It literally does nothing. And yet, it's going to complain about the lack of fuel every turn for no reason. Whereas the PDC fleet we built on Earth, Earth had fuel, so it was able to do that. This fuel will never get consumed, but as long as it's got it, it's going to be happy. I don't know. Can't even give it PDC orders. We can tell this one to refill its stock of ammo over here, so it should be at 100% now if we go and check. No, 99%. All right, so still not all the way there, but it's getting there. So yeah, this thing here, it's going to complain. I don't think it's going to shorten my turns. I think we're going to jump. If I do this, it's going to go to May 1st. It does. And I don't think it stops my auto turns. I'm not sure. It may or may not. We finished completing our size 6 anti-missile missiles on Earth. Let's go and just check the stockpile on Earth. Presumably, stockpiles will show ammunition. You see, I still have a lot of old missiles. We have lots of size 1s, lots of size 6s. So we are good there. I don't think we have to go around building any more missiles right yet. We can probably save a few of those materials. And yes, we have all these old materials, some of which are still relevant, some are not from our breakdown. We can go ahead and scrap. Yeah, as opposed to disassemble. Right, disassemble is gain knowledge. We're going to scrap, get the materials for some of these things. Oh yeah, we pre-built the thorium harvesters, the troop transports, that still want to be true. The cryogenic transports, that's when we scrapped one of our colony ships. I'm going to leave it there just in case we decide to build a colony ship later on. It'll be nice to have. These Coriolis nuclear thermal engines, we can scrap them, we don't need them. We'll keep the Seawiz 120... Are we? No, Seawiz 200, so the 120s are out of date. So we can scrap them, and we'll keep the cargo handling system, again, in case we make transports or cryogenic ships later on, or something of that nature. And the thorium harvesters, we're going to keep them around as well. Shipyards, shipyard tasks, you guys are scrap, scrap, scrap. You're building another fuel harvester, which is all good and fine. And all the slipways are used because they're currently dismantling the ships. Okay, that is all fine. Research in the shipbuilding rate has started. Oh yeah, it's a 50% saving on shipyard operations is now kicked in. So all these guys who are doing continual expansion, we can, there we go. We were saving money, like we're now gonna save money, and yet I'm gonna cancel it, just because. Also, I did start the slipways before that discount came in. I forgot about that, but what I can do though is get the discount on adding an extra slipway over here. I don't know if I'm gonna add another slipway to the Tobman at all, but we're gonna go ahead and get a third one over here at Sarboth, because then we can build our destroyers at the same time. Supply of uranium on Psyche have expired. So Psyche, do you still have anything left? No, you don't, and you don't have anything in your stockpile, which is perfect. So what we're going to do is 50 mines, 1 mass driver. 50 automated mines as a supply, and a mass driver of 1. We're going to supply that. And then at some point, that will go away, and we'll just abandon the colony completely. Are any of these mines not sending anything? Are any of these new? Gotta check every now and again. No, these are all well established and still mining away. Awesome. Briarstone. Right, you are terraforming. How are you doing with the terraforming? Terraforming inactive. Oh, I missed that message at some point. Oxygen, done. Let's go ahead and get some safe greenhouse gases. Go. Get you started. That's all that terraforming. How's Luna coming along? Oxygen is almost where we want it to be. Temperature is fine. Nitrogen is going up. Wonderful. Okay. Oh, it just happened. Addition of atmosphere to Briarstone has halted. Oh, I thought I'd missed all that. But apparently not. What I should really do is keep this on the other side, and the terraforming report over here. I should just leave it over here, so at least I'm a little less likely to miss things. Ship scrapped. Oh, yes. So we did scrap some ships. We got a bunch of stuff back. We have some idle research labs because we just finished compressed carbon armor. Nice. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start designing my new warships. So our very first thing, I'm going to call this a cruiser level of class. So we're going to create a new class over here. I'm going to open up my subscriber list, and we'll give it a name momentarily. But yeah, I'm going to use cruiser. Oh, there's not really cruiser lead category. And cruisers really probably work mostly by themselves. I guess I can make a command ship. So we'll start the command ship design. And this thing here is going to... So just like last time, we're going to include just sensors on this. Oh, do we want to have shields? Probably. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of that where we're still going to have to design some bits and pieces along the way. But let's build some standard shields. Theta shields, best regenerate fuel consumption when they're turned on over here. And we are going to subscriber list. So this has got a shield strength of 4 and recharges 3 hit points. See, recharge time 400 seconds, recharge rate 3. Like, does it take 400 seconds to fully fill it out? Is it 3 per minute? No. I don't know how this works out. So it's getting, if its recharge time is 400 seconds, then it's getting 1 extra shield strength back every 100 seconds. If I put it down to 1, what does that do? I guess it's got a base time of 1200 seconds. Well, presumably for the shield strength. What if I bring this down to alpha? Yeah, so 300 seconds per shield strength. Yeah, 300 seconds per shield strength is the base. And with that, it recharges there, which is not fast. 400 divided by 60 is 6.6 minutes to fully recharge shields. It really only helps with the initial confrontation. I'm not convinced that shields are like the end-all and be-all over here. What's the weight of this? Daily fuel cost while active. It doesn't have a hull size pull down, so presumably it's just a static hull size, but I don't know what that's going to be. Now, it uses fuel. It doesn't use energy, which is good, so we're not going to have to include a reactor. I mean, I guess I'm going to design it. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to randomize my subscriber list again. This is going to be the IAM bombs. That doesn't make sense for a shield name. Sorry, IAM bombs. I'm going to use your name for something else. Tim's Heap. Tim's Heap. Tim's Sheep. Fields Inc. There we go. That's what you're going to be. So we're going to create some shields over here. Let's go back to our design. And we need a name for the design. I guess the IM... that's still... I like it. IM Bombs is a company name, but... it's probably the Quest over here, the one we just designed. Yeah, Cruiser. And or Command Ship. Command Cruiser is in the list. Oh, excellent. Let's rename the class. Alright. To the IM Bombs. Class Command Cruiser. So, your job... Let's make sure you've got the new armor over here. What does the new hull do? Oh, you can do a custom hull name. And then custom abbreviation. Neat! Okay, I'm just gonna switch to make sure that's still locked in. That is really cool. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Which is a large fuel storage by default. So, you are gonna be our sensor boat. Yes, yes. We are gonna give you a Sea Whiz. Actually, a couple of those. And right away, I'm gonna start you off with like at least 10 layers of armor. I would also like to give you the shields. Oh, I've got to research the shields before I can add it in there. Let me go ahead and queue that up. Defensive systems. Tim Seeps Fields Inc. Evie's going to go to work on that with 35. And it's just going to take 10 days. So let's go ahead and do that. So we can add it to the system and see exactly what it's doing for us. More things have successfully been scrapped. Okay. That's done being researched, so if we go here and refresh the tech, we should have... What am I looking for? Shields. Where'd that be? Is there an S category? No. Oh, right there. And so, now we've got a shield strength over here. 400, so 400 research time. And 4 is the amount of shields we have. But if we go ahead and, let's say, double it, then we'd have 8 shield strength over here. So, that's 8 extra layers of armor, which does regenerate, although it regenerates slowly. So effectively, we'd have 18 points of defense. The difference is when a shield take a hit, it doesn't matter where you roll, the shields will also take damage, but they do take that first before anything else. So we are hitting with a Warhead of Strength 20, which can pierce 4 layers of armor. If someone were hitting us with that and happened to roll the same exact place twice, with 10 armor, we'd be able to take 2 hits and still have 2 extra hull left. But then the shield here would actually take 8 off the first one, so the first hit would only hit us for 12. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we'll try something like this. The shields also make you stand out more, which honestly isn't going to be a much of a thing here. Okay, so we got a couple layers of shield, we've got the armor, we've got the Sea Whiz. Active sensor, you're going to have the ship detecting sensor over here. And what we don't have, oh, we do have passive sensors over here. Passive thermal sensors so that we can listen. So we're 4,000 tons. I don't think, I don't know. Are we going to build jump engines? Is the question, right? Last time, one of the reasons our ships got so big is because of the inclusion of the jump drives. Now, our jump drives are more efficient now. We don't, because we have outgoing jump gates, we don't need jump drives on anything that go out. And also, we would need jump drives to come back, right? If we go into an alien system with this fleet, they may not be able to come home. We'd have to send a jump construction ship through there to do that. On the other hand, this may not be intended for offensive action. We just want a really powerful fleet to be able to patrol our domestic territory. That way, if we do go through a jump point and anyone decides to come through, well, we can start to picket that area and just be ready to defend it if anything happens to jump through suddenly. So, I don't know if we include that. One thing I could do, and actually this might be the way to do it, is I could design a military jump tender. So we have seen in the past how I can use my current jump ship to sit at a jump point, and then a ship which doesn't have a jump drive, even if it's not part of the task group, as long as the ship with the jump drive is sitting at the jump point, any ship that is not bigger than the jump drive can pass through. So what if we just generate a standalone tender for this kind of behavior in case we want to send this ship through? It would be lighter and smaller and simpler to design. It would be a military jump drive, so it would be a military ship and deal with maintenance issues, but that might be a possibility. I guess one of the questions is, what would one of these things look like now? Jump engines. Now we know the size, and the size is what, 50 times the size, right? Is the weight. Now this ship oh, it does work. That must have been fixed in 7.1. Yeah, so 50 times bigger. So we know how much weight whatever this is going to add. So if we wanted to bring across our squadron of size 5 in a single jump. Now that's only important for a combat jump. We could actually make a smaller jump drive, and you'd still be able to do a standard transit, even if the task group going through is larger than the number here, because they're not technically jumping through simultaneously. There's like some weird thing that way. Jump radius we don't need much of. The efficiency makes it more powerful and lighter. So we'd still have to bring us up to, let's say, again, because we don't know what the final size of our ship is going to be. Let's say we do this. So size 25. So this is weighing 2,500 tons, or 1,250 tons. That's a lot of extra weight on the ship. And you can see the class here. You know what? I'm going to leave the jump drive out of the command ship this time. I really think that may have contributed to a sort of a worse overall design last time. Now, also, we have much more powerful engines this time, which is, of course, going to be quite nice. Speaking of engines, right, I still haven't researched them, right? Something like that? I don't remember. Power and propulsion? Because I designed them, didn't I? No, that's right. I was waiting for the new fuel consumption tech. That's why I'm so confused. I had designed them, and I deleted them. Okay, that's right. We designed 2 engines, but I deleted them before we actually researched them because we were researching the more fuel-efficient option here. So I think what I did, didn't I end up with like a 1.6 and around size 25, and that came out to 1,000. Yeah, I really, really, really like that final number. And I don't remember the name of the company for the engines. Oh, I feel so bad. And I don't have the list. I'd have to open up my old file and all these things. Oh, I'm really sorry. So we're gonna have a new. No, it's the same as the. It's the same as the missile engines. Hold on, I can get that then. So our missile engines. Oh yes, Cross-E Dynamics. Excellent. Cross-E SE Dynamics. 1,000 engine power, magnetic fusion drive. This is the military version over here, and is more fuel efficient than the version we were going to make a second ago. And then we'll make another variant, which is going to have the least possible engine power for more fuel efficiency, and is actually going to be bigger, because we don't care about adding in redundant drives on our commercial ships. So this is going to be... can we get another nice round number? How would I do that? Well, I guess I'd tune the size. I guess with this, it doesn't matter. This is literally the most fuel-efficient engine that I can produce, so it's got an odd number. Deal with it. Create. Okay. And as I recall, these research numbers weren't too terribly long. I think I have to... Oh, there it is. Yeah. Ooh, this one is pretty big research. Let's start with that, because we are generating our military ship first, and then we'll go and... queue that. How long are you going to take? 6th of September of this year. Yeah, well, it's 5,000 research. It's pretty beefy. I can't give you any more labs. It's literally your maximum number of labs. So I guess we're not going to be designing anything else quite yet. We're going to wait. How are my shipyards doing whatever? You're still adding your extra slipway, but this one's going to be fine, and it's well above the capacity that we're looking for, which is great. Most of the ships have been scrapped over here. You're building that. Can you... I think there was still more to scrap up there. Yeah, the other Aido. There's no Gabooks? Yeah, okay. No, the maple syrup extra sticky is still happy, but yes, we're going to get rid of the last Edo. These were destroyers. We're going to go and scrap you as well. That's a hell of a generation of ships. But again, they protected us from the Martian unrest. Ooh! Unrest in... Oh, that's population. No, Luna doesn't feel enough protection anymore. And that, I guess, is pretty legit. We did just scrap a whole bunch of ships. Yep. So the unrest is going to increase slowly in Luna, but that's okay. Neutronium and Iris has been exhausted. What do you got left? Okay. Well, we're not going to pull out what we've got there. You've got 3 years left to depletion. We're going to leave our stuff, and that's okay. And we've got 10 inactive research labs on Earth. Oh! Right, I capped these guys out, but they still have some stuff left to do. I mean, I suppose I could break up... Hold on. Let's do that. I'm going to remove that from the queue. And we'll go ahead and get Natasha to do this. Maybe she'll get lucky with a few tech ups, because she already gets more labs. So we're going to get you to research that. It's not going to take very long. Arctic Fox 2 has run out of fuel. I have a cargo ship. Yes? Of course I do. Why am I saying that? Now, cargo ship does not have... Okay, your job, and I don't know why it's being so difficult, is to drop some goddamn fuel at the colony. Go and drop... Wait, what? Remove all. Go to Essentia and unload fuel. There we go. Unload 90% of your fuel at Essentia, so it's got some damn fuel on its surface. Also, I'm hoping that that will lead to you automatically shipping fuel over there, because this now counts as, I don't know, some sort of fuel depot or something like that. I have no idea. Okay, we finished the commercial engine in one tick, as expected, of course. Didn't feel like it should have been a big job. And then the rest of the points we're going to put in, I'm not sure. I mean, this not 10 labs isn't that much. More construction rate probably wouldn't hurt, honestly. We could start working our way to the next research rate, because it's always good, but that's really far away. Improve damage control. Still don't really know how those systems work. Shield regeneration rate. I wonder if we could get that done. Yeah, 55 labs, 65% bonus. If we ship some more labs over there, I'm willing to bet we could actually use this in our new ship design. Maybe not. It's pretty expensive. Let's just lock down with what we've got and not care that much about it. Just some more research on some of the bits we need for maybe more of our mise-en technology for later on. That's probably fine. This is mostly just working towards the future. But we'll go ahead and get started on this. And then get some more turret tracking speed, which is important for a bunch of things, and then the larger focal size as well. You guys can just slowly work your way towards that. Sophie Ryan, Sophie Ryan. Okay, good. Slipway added. Excellent. I don't think we've got a job for you right now. I think I'm just happy that you've got... which one was that? Oh, that was at Shadow and Sons. Right. Which I'm okay with. And you're currently set up to do a fuel harvester. Actually, that's right. I did want 2 more fuel harvester now. Because I think we've got enough gas giants to actually work them. In the new system, in, what's it called? Leuchten system? Yeah, the Leuchten system. I think it has 2 gas giants. Or we lose it at some point. Alright, we scrapped some more stuff. More slipways are being added to the military slipways, or, yeah, military shipyards. I'm going to get rid of these old... magazine capacities, these 120 Seawazes, which we don't need, the old Dorava magnetics, this old military jump drive, which is huge, although it's interesting to consider, but no. Now these are the old slower missile launchers. We might still keep them around just in case. That seems pretty stupid though. Right? Right. The old thermal sensor. Yeah, it makes no sense. And then all these old electronics. Is it 30% of the build cost? Yeah. I think there's quite a bit of equipment that goes in there. So that's fine. If we scrap missiles, actually, do we get stuff back for that? Oh, we do. And we get the fuel back. I really should come up with better names for these things. Well, I'm assuming the ones I have a lot of are the new ones. Tell you what, let's do that. Yeah, this is actually the last generation of them. This is the current generation. Yeah, I really need to come up with better names. Or include something about the damage. Actually, that's what it should be. I should have the damage / range in the name of the missiles. That would be pretty smart. Now, I can still do that. Because I think it's in the technology screen. If I look at missiles, I can rename these. Right. So, anti-missile missile 1. 1.3 million kilometers. Anti-ship missile 6. 750 million kilometers. 20 warhead. Boom. There we go. Now, hopefully I actually deleted the right ones. I should have renamed first. But there we go. Good. So now I know what their specs are, and I can compare later on down the road. Alright, wonderful. Research labs are all research labbing? No, we have a bunch of available labs. Engines are all engined, though, right? Yeah, so let's go back to our ship design screen. Make sure we have refreshed the tech. There we go. We have engines now. So I'm going to install 2 of these engines. These engines are, wow, they are heavy. We might almost be going too fast. I maybe should have designed the engines to be smaller. That way, again, I could put in 2 and therefore get redundant engines. I don't know. I hear going fast is pretty good. So, what does this ship have and it's missing? Does it have the passive sensor? Oh, yeah, right there. So we have our active EM sensor, our passive thermal sensor. The engines, you could throw in some extra Seawazes or whatever. But right now, we've got a design that is technically functional at around 7,000 tons. And I don't want to over-design it, because it's actually less about the weight. We don't need, if we're not designing, if we're not like right at the verge of our jump engine. Actually, at this point, we definitely have the space to include one of those jump engines. Or just a crack ton more armor. Yes, a crack ton. You heard me, right? So the shields aren't very powerful, but they're enough to like ward off a few occasional blows. We might want to go up to like 20 layers of armor. That's probably a good idea. Okay, so that is one. Let's make a new ship. This one is going to be called the Suntan Man 3. And this is going to be our cruiser. So this is going to be our primary missile boat. So again, let's design it to have 20 layers of armor, but no shield. Let's put in 2 of those engines, or let's put in a Sea Whiz. 2 of these massive engines. Oh, we'll have to tune with the fuel as well. We're going to give it missile fire control. We're going to give it, you know what, I'm going to go with like 8 tubes. Oh yeah, it's getting quite heavy very fast. Okay, 6 tubes with 1 fire control. It's got the Sea Whiz. It doesn't need its own sensors. What's the range looking like? 7.4 billion kilometers. Yeah, that's not quite sufficient. Let's add a second large fuel storage. So now these take 500,000 liters of fuel for only a 14 billion kilometer range. Now we can really see how fuel can disappear instantly. Each one of these ships needs 500,000 liters to have a range that is honestly quite microscopic, but it moves insanely fast, which is really unnecessary for these missile boats, to the point where I'm considering redesigning these engines. I actually think that would be an excellent idea. Honestly, I think we're going to go and do that. So we had designed engines that were 25 hull size and 1.6x power. Right? Well, let's go and do 2 things. We're going to shrink them just slightly. I'm going to bring them down to size 20 for 1, which does hurt the fuel consumption, like fuel efficiency a little bit. Makes them a bit smaller. I'm going to be happier about putting 2 in. But not only that, I'm going to go ahead and nerf the power ratio down a little bit for more fuel efficiency as well. There we go. 1.2, this is a 600 EP engine. So if we put it 2, we're going to have a total of 1200 EP instead of 2000. We won't go at quite half the speed though, because it's also a smaller thing. Well, I mean, it's slightly higher than half the EP, but it's also a lighter engine. It's also more fuel efficient, so we won't have to include as much fuel. That saves some weight as well. So I suspect that in the end, we're going to go about 3/4 of the speed of the previous design. Now, we hadn't put any magazines in or anything like that, but I think we're going to end up with a speed at about 7,000 meters per second, something like that, which I think is probably okay. Where's the... just got to remind myself. Oh, yeah, it's the Crossy Dynamics. Crossy SC Dynamics. Now, we might still use the other engine design for something, of course. But for now, we're going to do this. It's going to be slightly cheaper to build. Research. We've got 25 labs. We want to go power and propulsion. And grab this and... Right, it's you. Create. Done. I guess we're going to have to put a cut in here and continue designing our new war fleet next time. Overcrowding. We did finish the engines, though, didn't we? No, not quite yet. Really? Ah, another 5-day cycle. Boop. Sound effects are important. There we go. There we go. Engine design done. So if we go back to the... well, we'll have to redesign the IM bombs as well. Right? Remove these old engines and put in... Refresh tech. There we go. Put in 2 of the 600 EPs. So we're still going at almost 8,000 kilometers a second. Now that's with 7,700 tons. Let's check the Suntan Man over here. Same thing, remove the 1,000 AP engines, replace them with the 600s. I mean, the range is a hell of a lot bigger. What did we go from? 17,000 to 30,000? I think that's true, actually. Hold on. Oh, 14,000. So we've more than doubled our range And we're not quite going at half the speed. We've doubled our range. 30,000 is pretty amazing, because that's all the way across the solar system and back. That is with the extra fuel storage. We could do this. So this is just basically from the center of the solar system to an edge. Which is probably fine. It's probably... And that's like with the extreme edge, right? The important thing is, can we get from one jump point to another and a jump point to a planet? I think that very much any particular configuration that we can think of, that will be the case. I'm pretty sure this fleet will be able to get anywhere, especially in a combat setting. And then what we're going to do is we're also going to design some proper tankers to go along with these ships. They'll go a little slower, and they'll follow the fleets around, and they'll be able to refuel things. Maybe what I can do, actually, is I can add them to the fleet. That will bring the speed of the fleet down. They'll all move as one, constantly getting fuel from the tankers. And then when combat starts, we just split the tankers off into their own task group. And then we have the main task group go to full speed, you know, turn on those shields, active sensors, etc., etc. And then we'll be good. Oh, we do have to worry about that when the shields are up on our main vessel. So the IM bombs over here, we're going to need to make sure that it has slightly more range. So why is its range less? Oh, is there a weight difference? 7,600 tons. 7,700 tons. Does this calculation assume that the fuel is up? Hold on. What is fuel use percentage? Fuel capacity is 2,500, or 250,000. 250,000. It's just 100 tons extra. But I think that a standard fuel storage will throw that in. That gives it a little bit more range than our base model ship, but will help to power its shields. Let's check the speed. 7741. This one should be a little faster because it is currently lighter. Is there anything else we need to do? Well, we need to make sure, first of all, that... Oh, it needs magazines. Did we did design magazines, did we not? Yes, right over here. Oh, when I did my PDC, I didn't design a PDC-specific magazine. Whoopsie. Anyway, that's fine. All right, we're going to have to put a cut in here, folks. Thank you very much for watching. 37 missiles. Am I happy with that number? That means 6 full volleys, plus 1 extra volley after that. Is that a lot? I don't know. I don't know how to judge these things. I feel like we'd probably want 2 magazines. Oh, right. I think my idea was a second magazine as well, so that if one gets hit, we are not completely out. So now we're talking about 11 full volleys of missiles. That's a lot of missiles, honestly. Firing 66 missiles at someone and then having 1 to spare seems like a lot. It should be able to take out a lot, especially since we're going to have 3 of these ships in a fleet. And we'll also be designing a missile collier to follow us around with additional ammo. So that we can reload between waves of combat. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, folks. See you next time.